Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. Now gamers must always be ready for that challenge, even in the most unusual places.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Now back in August of 2020, my friend Justin, aka the Game-O-Holic, set down a little challenge for me.
Top 10 Sega games over at Which Way Games. Sai, this is going straight to you, my friend. I highly agree with the fact that you'll probably have Sonic somewhere up there, but let's see you do a top 10 without Sonic.
I of course accepted and sent the same challenge to my green friend Melton the Gamer and the Beginner's Experiment to see what are their top 10 Sega games that don't include Sonic. Hopefully all of my friends that I've just mentioned will have their own lists on their channels, which I'll leave in the description. And of course with that in mind, let's get on with the video.
In the world of gaming, there have been many games over the years that have stood the test of time. Each of these being classed as the cream of the crop, the best of the best, or even the elite. These games still feel as fresh as they once were when first released, with classic games such as Super Mario Bros., the original Legend of Zelda, and my personal favourite Sonic the Hedgehog. Some of these games, as well as many others, will appear on top 10 lists found all over the internet, especially those concerning my favourite blue hedgehog.
Obviously this particular list doesn't involve the blue blur, but what better way to start any list with Sega's other mascot, so punching its way in at number 10 is Alex Kidd in Miracle World.
In this 8-bit adventure for the Sega Master System, Alex Kidd is on a quest to free the kingdom of Raidashan and defeat the evil Janken the Great. Classed by some as an instant classic of the 8-bit era of gaming, there are 17 levels of adventure mixed with a combination of platforming, puzzle solving and some slight RPG elements. With some great level design and a learning curve that will test gamers' reflexes, Alex Kidd in Miracle World is a fantastic game for the Sega Master System. Using the punching ability as well as a fireball technique to save the day, Alex Kidd could easily be part of the world of Dragon Ball and have some amazing adventures with Son Goku.
Blasting its way in at number 9 is the fantastic shooter House of the Dead 2.
After the mysterious disappearance of AMS Agent G, the zombie outbreak in Italy has reached new heights with all manners of creatures terrorising Venice. It's now up to Agents James Taylor and Gary Stewart to uncover the truth behind the zombie outbreak, but what horrors lay within? This classic shooting game from the arcade soon found its way onto the Sega Dreamcast, allowing gamers to experience the horrors from the comfort of the sofa. The voice acting may be questionable and would feel right at home in a B-horror movie, but this bizarre adventure with its branching paths and grotesque enemies, a memorable experience while playing. Shooting the screen in a panic while being attacked by a menace from beyond will certainly have gamers on the edge of their seats. Just make sure to aim for the head.
Slashing down the opposition at number 8 is Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage.
Set in a world where the horrors from beyond demand the sacrifice Griffith promised them, the black swordsman known as Guts finds himself drawn to the affairs of a small castle town and its plight with the Mandragora. But what other evils lurk in the darkness? This often overlooked game for the Sega Dreamcast takes the dark gothic world created by Kentaro Miura and combines it into a hack and slash adventure filled with action and a compelling story. With 8 chapters to play through, Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage draws inspiration from the mythos of the manga, controlling decently and providing a great challenge for even the most hardcore of gamers. Sword of the Berserk is by no means a walk in the park. With larger than life bosses, plot twists and an ever increasing sense of doom, Sword of the Berserk will have gamers coming back for more, and quite possibly open their minds to the dark fantasy world created by Kentaro Miura. Will Guts ever be free, of the brand of the sacrifice.
Swimming its way through to number 7 is Ecco the Dolphin.
Being classed as one of the classics of the Sega Mega Drive, Ecco the Dolphin is on a mission to save the Earth from an alien threat through an epic adventure that will explore the very fabric of time itself. With 27 stages ranging from the peaceful home bay, going all the way through to a final encounter with an alien boss queen, Ecco the Dolphin has gone down in history as one of the classics for the Sega Mega Drive. With some fantastic controls, decent gameplay and music, Ecco the Dolphin is a must for any gamer's collection, although just make sure to keep an eye on the air meter.
Driving like a maniac at number 6 is Crazy Taxi.
Driving recklessly while listening to some great music will clearly get gamers arrested. However, the classic Crazy Taxi for the Sega Dreamcast will keep gamers out of jail. Originally an arcade hit with gamers, Crazy Taxi is a racing game that has gamers going against the clock in a frantic rush to make money. Gamers will have to do everything they can think of to get paying customers to their destination. For example, driving on the wrong side of the road, taking a shortcut between buildings, or racing over the football field while practice is on. With a great soundtrack provided by The Offspring, Crazy Taxi is a fun and highly addictive game that will pass the time for gamers. A true classic that eventually found its home and other gaming systems outside the arcade.
Hunting down evil at number 5 is Monster World 4.
Now when it comes to the Wonder Boy Monster World gaming series, Monster World 4 may look like a cute platformer aimed at younger gamers, but under its colourful and vibrant looks, lays a fun but difficult game that has a certain charm that will entice gamers to play over and over again. In Monster World 4, main protagonist Aisha is on a quest to free the spirits and bring peace back to the world. Being aided by loyal and faithful Pepperlegoo, gamers will find themselves becoming attached to this blue floating creature in this endearing adventure. Mixing platforming with the elements of an RPG, this action-adventure game is a perfect installment to the Wonder Boy Monster World series. Hacking away at enemies while solving puzzles, defeating bosses and taking the gold certainly makes Monster World 4 a joy to play. If gamers haven't had the chance to play this fantastic game, then it's worth a look, but be ready for that tear-jerking moment.
On a quest for vengeance at number 4 is the legendary Shenmue.
Back in the late 90s, Shenmue was something of a legend before it was released. From the fantastic mind of Yu Suzuki, Shenmue stars a young man known as Ryo Hazuki, who is on a mission of revenge against a man with evil eyes. This man, garbed in green, brutally murders Ryo's father and takes with him the mysterious Phoenix Mirror. But what secrets does it hold? Being classed as one of the most expensive games made for the Sega Dreamcast, Shenmue brought the world of late 80s Japan to life. With a semi-open world to explore, gamers were treated to a fantastic oddity of gaming that was unheard of at the time, especially with its use of the Dreamcast's internal clock. With a compelling story filled with twists and turns along the way, there are parts of Shenmue that will allow gamers a chance to relax from the main story, such as spending time in the local arcade playing some of the classic games in Yu Suzuki, or taking in the sights of 1980s Japan. With collectibles being a side mission in itself, gamers would flock to the gumball machines that were filled to the brim with plenty of Sega characters, including a certain hedgehog and its friends. Obviously doing its best to avoid a paradox, Shenmue also blessed the world with forklift racing. Just don't forget to use those pivot points.
Using the power of ninjutsu at number 3 is Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master.
The third installment of a trilogy sometimes doesn't quite capture the magic of its predecessors. However, in the legendary Shinobi 3, this isn't the case, with it being classed as a must-have game for the Sega Mega Drive. Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master has Neo Zeeb returning to terrorize the world, assisted by supernatural forces, and once again it's up to Shinobi Master Joe Masashi to put a stop to them. Having 7 stages to traverse through, each getting harder as Shinobi 3 progresses, the main emphasis on this legendary game is all about speed, and turning up the action a few notches compared to its predecessors. Shinobi 3 is an amazing game from Sega, providing the ultimate challenge for gamers who want to live out that fantasy of being a ninja while listening to some decent music. And with a wide array of enemies, mainly coming from Japanese mythology, it's no wonder Shinobi 3 is a masterpiece of 16-bit gaming. Just be careful of what lurks in the shadows.
Cleaning up the streets at number 2 is Streets of Rage 2.
In 1992, sequels were coming out thick and fast for the Sega Mega Drive, and Streets of Rage 2 is quite possibly the greatest side-scrolling beat-em-up for the 16-bit system. Streets of Rage 2 follows the journey of Axel Stone and his friends as they embark on a mission to rescue Adam Hunter from Mr. X while cleaning up the streets of the city. Taking everything that made the first Streets of Rage a masterpiece, Streets of Rage 2 builds upon the winning formula with larger sprites, longer stages, more challenging enemies, and of course an iconic soundtrack. With 12 stages to kick and punch their way through, gamers will also be able to access the characters' individual power moves, which gave Streets of Rage 2 a whole new army of fans. But the question is Axel Stone's bare knuckle fist stronger than Ryu's Shoryuken?
And finally, speeding across the finish line at number 1 is the fantastic Outrun.
Outrun is a simple racing game against the clock, but when combined with the best soundtracks from the 16-bit era, gamers will enjoy speeding along at breakneck speeds in the Ferrari Testarossa Spider. Legendary game designer Yu Suzuki continued to use the same sprite scaling technique made famous in Super Hang-On and Afterburner, but with Outrun, this magical technique was a match made in heaven. Now, Outrun has multiple paths that gamers can use while playing, which represents different difficulty settings that can give gamers the choice of either a leisurely drive or one filled with action. Gamers could either be driving through forests, high up along mountain roads, through the desert, or along sun-kissed beaches. Either way, gamers will enjoy the fantastic experience that Outrun provides. Now, Outrun may be a simplistic racing game at its core, but it brought home the magic of the arcade for gamers of the 80s, and still continues to charm its way into the hearts of gamers.
Now with that challenge done, I put forward a new challenge to Melton the Gamer, the McGinnis Experiment, Sebs the Hedgehog, the Juice Meister, and the main man himself, the Game-O-Holic. I want to know, what are your top 10 Nintendo games that don't include Mario?
Hello!
Anyway, come back next time where I take a look at my top 10 Sonic games. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and most of all, thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.